I am noticing an increase on my sales. And I was like, this is the new year, this is 2025, and I want to try something new. And the reason why I started my Etsy shop is because I miss teaching. My last year of teaching was 2020, and I didn't really get to see my students. I remember we did a graduation ceremony, and it was through a Zoom call. So that was it was kind of hard not to be able to see them face to face. But I still miss teaching, and I think about my students, and I hope they're doing well. But that was pretty much one of the main reasons why I opened my Etsy shop. So my Etsy shop has kids printables, different activities, and I started in 2020, and I noticed my sales were just going up and down, up and down. And so this year I decided to do things differently, and basically that is create more printables. So from my early struggles, okay, I feel like even I've had my Etsy shop for 4 years, I always have struggles here and there. But what I recently noticed, I've had my Etsy shop for 4 years, right? I was having sales here and there, and basically I started my Etsy shop. I kind of just renovated my whole Etsy shop this year. I changed the whole look, I changed my name. So my Etsy shop name was All I Can Ask Creations, and now it's Print and Play Mama. So it's like Print and Play Mama sounds so much better than All I Can Ask Creations. So those are the things that I did to make my shop better. I changed the name, and then I also changed the photos, the mock-up photos for each product that I had. I changed all of it. I made it look cleaner and have better aesthetic view of my products. And so, I just changed up everything. And including to that, I added more listings, because the struggles of not having much sales, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to change things. So, I changed my shop name, I changed the mock-up photos, and then also I added more listings. And so I think recently, maybe a few months ago, I had maybe 30 listings, I think, and now I have about 70 listings. And I really thought it was not going to be doable when I started creating my listings at 30, and I was like, how am I going to get to 100? Because that is my goal. My goal pretty much is to create 100 listings. So there is a person on YouTube, and Etsy Consultant is the name, and he has given me so much information that is valuable. And one of them is to create 100 listings. And so my goal is to create 100 listings. And so now I think I have 74 listings, and I have noticed my sales. I have noticed that my printables are selling. So in the month of January, I'm trying to do the photo right here. So this is my honest result, okay? So this is the result of my January of this year, and then next is February, March, April, and now May. And so I noticed that my sales are increasing. I mean, there's a steady growth, but I am noticing it big time, and what I'm noticing, my sales are a lot, but then the amount that I'm getting is a little bit less, and it's because of the fees, and it's because that I'm also creating new products as well. But I know in the long-term process, focusing on creating 100 listings and creating products that I notice that people are buying, if I just focus on that, I think I know my Etsy shop is going to blow up. That is what I pray to God, that my Etsy shop is going to blow up. So that is my experience with my Etsy shop right now. It is the month of May, and I noticed that my sales are increasing. Topic of, my printables are really selling, and it's because that I'm not posting things just randomly. I'm posting it based on my observation. So on Etsy, on your dashboard, it shows the views and people putting it as favorites. And so basically I'm following up through that, because my popular ones are the police coloring pages. And so when I noticed that a lot of people are buying that, I went ahead and created a police activity pack. And I was like, okay. And somebody already bought it within a few days that I posted it. So I was like, oh, thank you, God. So that is what I have been doing. I've been observing what my customers are buying and creating something similar to it. And it feels so good. It feels so good that people are buying it, that people are liking it, And recently I went to, so based on my observation, the dashboard that shows like people, what they like on my products. So people are liking my police coloring pages, and they're liking firefighter coloring pages. So I went to ChatGPT and I asked, give me similar products that are like firefighter coloring pages and police coloring pages. So it gave me doctor nurse coloring pages. So I went ahead and did it. So I created my doctor nurse coloring page, and somebody already bought it. Thank God. And then I was like, okay, let me add more to it, because somebody bought it. So I was like, let me create more. And I created a doctor nurse activity pack, and guess what? Today I received a sale from that. So it feels really good that my printables are really selling if I just go based on what my customers are liking. And the thing is that they would say on YouTube with your Etsy shop, they said go based on low competition or what's trending. And honestly, in a way, everything, you don't have to go by what is trending. You need to go by what people like from your shop and things that you like to do. Because as for me, I was a teacher, so I create kids activities, and I'm really passionate about it. And it's not boring to me. I mean, it gets tiring because it's like, man, I'm creating products and I'm trying to create 100 listings, yes, but like I keep on going. So if you are planning to create your Etsy shop, go based on what you like to do, because I bet people would like what you create. So I'm very thankful with that skill of just observing what people like and just creating the same thing but in a different format. It makes me feel good that people like my product, and then I can just create more just like it. This might be controversial, but whenever they talk about, go to Everbee, go to E-Rank or whatever, in my experience and from the video from the YouTuber Etsy consultant, he said that that's like all a scam, really, because honestly, working on SEO, I mean, yeah, of course you need to do SEO in a way, but not like spend so much money and time on it, because whenever I do SEO, I just do who, what, where, when, why. And that's what I've learned from the YouTuber Etsy consultant. For example, if I had coloring pages, who is it for? Kids, preschoolers, toddlers. What is it? It's a coloring page, it's an activity sheet. Who, what, where would you do it at? The classroom, homeschool. When, for birthday parties, and just applying those questions is a lot easier for me when I do SEO. That method is so much easier, and I feel like it's so much more practical than going to Everbee and going to E-Rank to see what words work and what words don't. So, and also, I have not posted on my social media. I have a social media account for my Print and Play Mama, and I don't spend so much time on it as I did before, because now I spend more time creating printables. So I think I've noticed that I don't spend so much time posting. I spend more time on my Etsy shop as I should. So I am very, very thankful that I have reached about, I think I'm at 428 sales. I'm at 428 sales. And to me, that is a blessing, because that means there are people that still like my products. And, you know, I can still create. I have ideas on what to create, and creating educational activities for people around the world. Like recently, I think I had a customer from Australia. I mean, that is so cool. Like, I never been there. So, you know, it is, of course, definitely a blessing that I get to help people, you know, have fun and educational kids activities, you know, and I get to sell them, create them, and then of course I get money, you know. I mean, just like being able to like create something and then people getting it and people liking it, it's like, it's a wonderful feeling, you know. And I just have to keep in mind to just keep trying. You know, my goal is 100 listings. I'm not going to say my goal is like to receive $100,000 each month. In a way, that'd be really nice. But I feel like if I just continue to create printables, like good quality printables that I still create to this day, of course, if I keep going and just going with whatever my customers like and following from that, I think my Etsy shop is going to be like the top 5%. So I'll see you guys on the next video.